Good.
It's not the same thing as when we give out the 5 tons of food in an hour.
We're doing a lot of work.
I'm Ron Robinson, and I live here in the McLean and Turley area of kind of far north Tulsa, and I'm the executive director of a Third Place Community Foundation. The first things that we were able to do was to buy a block of abandoned houses, and we worked with some of our partners, both in business and other nonprofits and other churches, and with the government to get the funds to tear down the houses, remove the structures, begin doing the site preparation, and begin growing garden beds and a community orchard with and for our neighbors. And from that program of buying the property, it allowed us to get into the current community center space that we have, which is an old abandoned big church building in need of a lot of renovation. It had been vandalized quite a bit right before we moved into it, but it allowed us to continue to grow and serve more and more of our neighbors. And so we did that, expanded our library, our books, our computer center, mostly our food store. We really began to make that our signature way of kind of meeting the needs and connecting with people, and it connects the garden work with our food store and our helping people get free food to meet their emergency needs. The garden park and the orchard and the community center now as our kind of launching pads for us for our mission into the community.
Well, our Welcome Table Garden Park and Orchard is located in the 74126 zip code, which is the lowest, one of the lowest income areas, and is people that live here die 14 years younger than they do at the highest life expectancy zip code, which is only about 6 miles to the south of us in Midtown. And so a lot of why we're here and a lot of things that we do are related to the fact that we're trying to literally kind of save lives through helping people grow healthy food and build community, which also helps to save lives. So a big part of that 14-year life expectancy gap is in because this is a food desert area, particularly for healthy food. We have lots of little convenience stores or bigger kind of grocery stores that are kind of like big convenience stores, but don't have much access to healthy food that everybody needs. So not only are we trying to grow food here, but we're also trying to grow community and community engagement, community involvement, all of which adds to somebody's life expectancy as well.
Well, we're a very young and new group. We, like I say, we've only been at this about 4 or 5 years, really, in terms of our community service work. And yet we've already made quite a bit of strides and done so much with so little, thanks of course in large part to support that we get from outside of our area as well.
The park is divided into about a third food production, about a third kind of social area, and a third kind of just community event space. And we're just barely getting started. We need to grow all year round because the need is all year round. So we need a greenhouse. We do a lot of what we call tasting and teaching, which gets people to see the kind of good, healthy, wonderful tasting fresh vegetables. We educate them. Most of the people have no really education about like where pickles come from, what a cucumber is, any of the herbs, things like that we have around. So a lot of what we do is to get them to taste it, see how good it tastes, teach them how they can cook with it. So for that we need a kitchen. So we're trying to really have our kitchen greenhouse next phase project that will allow us to kind of go from what all we've done here so far, take it to the next step of really deepening people's education and improving their lifestyle. So we had started our very first community garden, was doing demonstration gardens, showing people just different ways, easy, inexpensive ways to do gardening at their home. And while we were doing that, that's when we began to notice this property that was so run down, and we thought, wouldn't it be great if we could buy it and begin the transformation of it. And one of the other reasons is because it was located right on the bridge between two predominantly different ethnic areas. So on the city side of our property, it's primarily African American, but trending also more white and Hispanic, whereas on the county side, the old historic Turley side, it's been predominantly European American white, but it's trending more African American and Hispanic. So pretty soon there's going to be kind of an equal ethnic diversity within the whole area. But to try to foster that kind of spirit of community when that happens, we wanted this particular property as a kind of a bridge space.
Our biggest project right now at the Community Garden Park, now that we have a lot of things beginning to grow, is to create a kitchen greenhouse, number one, so that we can grow all year round. With climate change and everything else that's going on, it's becoming very unpredictable in terms of how you can sustain kind of food production. And so by having a greenhouse and a kitchen combination, and even a social area and a rainwater collection system as a part of that kind of building, we will be able to be a year-round operation, letting people grow year-round, letting people come in and learn how to cook and prepare and preserve and store their food, taking it right out of the garden, right into the kitchen, again, and kind of being a model as much as anything for what they can then do in their own blocks and in their own homes. At the community center, we came into the building at a time when it had just become vandalized pretty massively. And we had a decision that we had to make, which was, do we shut everything down and try to work on the building itself and then kind of relaunch publicly, or do we continue to meet their very urgent needs of our neighbors as best we can in the building that we have, and then gradually begin to kind of fix it up to be able to use it better for the community. And we decided to do that. We decided to just immediately kind of clean up as we could and just go right on in working and serving our neighborhood, and as we can, then focusing on the building. We need to make it an accessible, multi-purpose community room that we can use to have bigger community meetings. We've been approached perhaps to do GED classes, that there aren't any anywhere in our part of the metropolitan area. We have a seniors group that we started that needs a home for them, again, so they don't have the mobility issues as well as having to come up the stairs like they do now. This community room would have a kitchen. We would still have our kind of clothing room that's in there. We might be able to expand our computer center when we move it over there. So we're becoming increasingly a what's called a missional service site. So churches and civic organizations and schools, not only from our immediate area, but actually from all over the country, and we've even had some people recently from around the world who come and want to work with us and learn about us and learn from us. This would give them a chance, also a place that we could arrange for them to stay while they were here, and they could deepen their experience with us. So we're looking at trying to fund the community room in order to begin that kind of deeper connection with our neighbors and with those who want to come in and serve and learn from us as well. We have continued even beyond our work with the properties, the community garden and the community center, to take on little projects of beautifying blighted areas out into the community, and working with our partners to further the work of the local schools and the local churches, and just any way that we can to kind of build up the sense of community and connections here in the about a 2-mile area that we serve of far north Tulsa.